can't leave my wagon and everything I own in the whole world sitting out here in the middle of the desert. I just can't, Mr. Ackerman.
I'm afraid you'll have to, Mr. Thomas. That's what killed your mule, trying to haul too much weight.
Oh, Mr. Ackerman, can't we take one of the animals from my wagon?
Your wagon's overloaded too, Miss Tazette. One horse just ain't enough.
But, Mr. Ackerman...
Look, I got a wagon party to get to California. It's a small party. That's what makes it twice as hard. Now, I'm sorry, but you'll have to get on one of them other wagons.
But...
Chain up! We're rolling.
I'm not going.
Baylor, Thomas, you can't just sit out here in the middle of this prairie all alone. Oh, Baylor, we'll be separated. Don't you care?
You know I do, Lou, but I just can't... Everything... I'll catch up with you later.
How? By pushing this thing 60 miles? Or maybe you'll put wings on it and fly it in? Or maybe even sail it?
Well, let's go.
Death Valley Days.
Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger. Some of the most fantastic stories of real Americana came out of the struggling West. Now, one of these tales is almost too incredible to believe, but it actually happened in the spring of 1853, when in the middle of the Missouri prairies, a strange cry was heard. The cry of, "Thar she blows."
I'm sorry, ma'am, but the last party through here bought up every working animal we had.
But there's a man out in the prairie all alone 60 miles from here.
I'm sorry.
We'll find a tame for Mr. Thomas.
I don't believe it.
Baylor.
I need a drink. Maybe 2 drinks.
Say now, friend, you're a little off course, ain't you? What are you barking for? A circus coming to town, or maybe a medicine show?
Must be a team of midget mule or something under the wagon bed.
No, sir. Sails. Wind and sails. That's what blew us in.
Baylor.
Lou, it worked. I made a sail out of the canvas covers, and the wind did the rest. Remember that little sailboat I built when we were kids? We used to sail it every Saturday afternoon.
On Bluegill Lake.
Yeah.
But you sailed this thing 60 miles over land?
I sure did, Lou. Oh, it was just wonderful. You should have seen it, Lou.
Must be some kind of joke they're brewing. She's in on it, too.
She'll start her pitch soon. You watch. How about a drink, Captain?
Well, I sure could use one.
Come on, then.
Where can I see you, Lou?
At the hotel. The wagons will be here a week for supplies.
I'll see you tonight. But I'm telling you, it's the truth. I was out there 60 miles. I sailed that old wagon right into Westport. You all saw me.
Sure you did, Captain. Aye, aye, sir. Did you have any trouble with the waves?
How long take you to sail 60 miles?
Almost 2 days. I had a good wind.
30 mile a day.
Sure, Doc. You heard him. He had a good wind. And he's got a wind wagon.
But all laugh your fool heads off. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I know I was out there in that wagon. I know I sailed at 60 miles over land. And I don't care whether you believe me or not.
What's your pitch, Thomas?
Pitch?
Yeah, what are you going to sell us? A wonder medicine? A treasure map?
Come on, Captain. Don't go. Come on back here and have another drink. Tell us how you hoisted sail and put out to sea. Yeah, I mean prairie.
Why not? Sounds reasonable to me.
Sail a wagon over land?
Sure. The wind was strong enough, it could be done.
What are you bugging for, Ben? First mate?
I read a book once where a man made a set of wings like a hawk and flew. Well, he glided only 100 yards, maybe, but he flew.
Tell me, Ben, why don't you and Captain Thomas here put wings on that wind wagon of his out there and fly it over to Council Grove?
Hey, wait a minute. How far is this Council Grove?
About 250 miles.
And with a wagon and a regular team, how long would it take to get there?
We're traveling fast, light, about 7 days.
And it'd be 2 weeks to get there and get back, correct?
That's right.
I'll bet I could do it in less. Way less.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You want to put up some money that you can sail that wind wagon to Council Grove and back in less than 2 weeks?
You hear real good.
How much money you want to bet?
You name it.
$200?
$200.
Put up. I sure do hope you don't get caught in no storm out there.
Well, there.
Golly, Ben, it sure was nice of you to help me with this thing. You know, now that we got them spikes in there, I think this mast is pretty solid.
How do you like that?
Oh, that's a good hook. That'll help me keep better control over the ropes.
Say, Baylor, I think the sailors call ropes lines, and this here hook is called a cleat.
I used to know all that stuff. You know all about sailing?
Oh, I've never been on water in my life. Oh, except to go fishing in some of these small streams around here.
Yeah, well, then how come you know what sailors call all these things?
I got a book on seamanship. Don't rightfully know where I got it. It should be here somewhere. Well, here it is right here. Well, Seamanship and Navigation by S.J. Carlton.
Yeah.
Say, I might pay you to read up on how to rig some of these sails and steer this contraption.
Thanks, Ben.
I have idle time and I read. I never had much real schooling.
Ben, how come you're helping me with this thing? You know, all them other fellas, they don't even believe that I ever sailed this rig.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Thomas, you got imagination.
Me?
And I got real respect for a man with imagination. Oh, me, I shoe horses and shovel fertilizer. But I read a lot. Yeah, about men like Galileo.
Oh, he was good.
And that glass he invented to make the moon and the stars big enough so you could see them close up. And Columbus. Yeah, people thought the world was flat as a pancake. And he came along and showed them it wasn't. So who's to say that you can't sail this wagon like a boat?
Yeah.
Or maybe even fly someday.
Yeah.
Swim under the water like a fish.
Oh, I don't know.
Baylor, what are you up to now?
Lou, come on in. Lou, this is Mr. Newson. He's my friend. He's helping me with my wind wagon.
We've met.
Hi, ma'am. Well, I got some chores to do in the corral, so if you'd excuse me.
I just heard about that ridiculous bet you made.
Lou, you look so pretty with your hair up like that and all that.
Do you have any idea how far Council Grove is?
150 miles.
And you think you can get there and back in less than 2 weeks in that thing?
Honey, with you waiting for me, I'm sure gonna take a good run at it.
Now listen, Baylor, you listen to me. You get your friend Mr. Newson to find some mules you can buy and leave with the wagon train next Tuesday.
Lou, I can't. It's too late now, even if I wanted to. I put up all my money for that bet.
Baylor, what's going to become of us? You gave me my engagement ring 3 years ago, But you just can't seem to get settled in one thing. When Aunt Kitty sent for me to come to Sacramento and you said you'd go too and make a fresh start, well, I thought maybe things would finally work out for us, but...
Lou, you know I've tried. I worked as a grocery clerk, a shoe salesman. I even worked on a farm one time. I must have had a dozen different jobs.
You're not exactly a boy anymore.
It's not... I just can't seem to find my place. You know I love you, Lou. Have since I was 12.
Baylor, if you lose that bet, how are you ever going to get to California? And I just can't wait for you. I have to go on with the wagon train. What's going to become of us?
Lou, honey, I won't lose that bet. I'll win that bet. I'll get this wagon to Council Grove and back in less than 2 weeks, no matter what happens. And, sweetheart, when I get back, I'll find you no matter where you are. Love will find a way. Now then, avast means to stop. Dutchman's breeches is a patch of blue sky to tip the nines. Lou! Gee, it sure was nice of you to come down and see me off.
I didn't come to see you off.
Oh?
I came to ask you for the last time to please not do this.
Lou, you know I've got to do it.
Let's go, Mr. Ackerman.
Lou.
Captain? The sea too rough for you?
Sails need wind.
Well, come on, boys. The captain needs some wind.
Blow, wind, blow.
Come on, boys. Let's get on back to town. I'm afraid the captain's wind wagon is scuttled for some time. Hey, Captain, bring us back a parrot, will you?
What do you think, Baylor?
Clouds are moving pretty fast. There should be a good strong wind down here any minute.
It's blowing, Baylor.
It's a real blow.
Good luck, Baylor!
There she blows!
Boys?
Any news about Thomas?
Nothing.
It's been 9 days now.
Trapper got in from Council Grove this morning. I asked him. He said he hadn't seen anything of a wagon with a sail on it anywhere along the way. And he looked at me like he thought I was clean out of my head.
A lot of square miles between here and Council Grove.
It was a stupid bet. I don't know what I was thinking of. That crazy greenhorn's liable to sail right off a cliff or something in that contraption of his.
Maybe get himself marooned someplace out there without enough water.
I see the Comanches are acting up around those parts these days.
I heard the same thing. Well, I'm going to round up a couple of the boys and go look for that young fool.
You may need a doctor. I'll go too.
no good.
Make it 2.
Ahoy there, mateys. Well, Doc Parker, you can pay me that bet money now.
Now, wait a minute. Don't you try to tell me that you've been clear to Council Grove and back. Not in no 9 days.
Now, I didn't think you were going to believe me, so I just brought along some proof. Now, here is a letter written by Dr. Christopher Scully. This was written 4 days ago in Council Grove.
It's Chris's handwriting, sure enough. He say Mr. Thomas asked him to write it to serve as proof he was in Council Grove.
Why, that ain't possible.
I had a good, strong wind astern, a real blower.
I knew you could do it, Baylor.
Money's all yours, Mr. Thomas.
Well, thank you, sir, and this time the drinks are on me. Come on, Mr. Sager, you look like you need a drink. You look seasick. Yes, sir, I am telling you, gentlemen, this is the fastest mode of transportation ever attempted over land. Why, with one of these wind wagons properly rigged up and fitted out, the prairies could be spanned in less than half of the time they are now using animal locomotion. Do you gentlemen realize at times I was making over 20 knots per hour, which is faster than any wagon has ever traveled over land before?
20 knots? Well, how fast is that?
Oh, that's about the speed of 4 wild horses pulling a light buggy on a dead run.
Oh, I can believe that.
Just think, with a fleet of these wind wagons, we could revolutionize overland travel between here and California. Just think about that. Half of the time from here to California.
You aiming to build such a thing?
Why not?
Look, I got a little speculating money I just been nesting on, Mr. Thomas. I'll throw in with you.
I'll go 500.
You can count me in.
Fine, fine. Gentlemen, I've been studying a few books that I have on ship designing. I'll figure a few things out. We need a bigger wagon, one that'll take a larger sail. I'll go back and make a few sketches, and we'll all meet here in the morning. How's that?
That's fine.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, sir.
Oh, Baylor. Baylor?
Yeah.
You're going over to see Miss Dazette. She left about an hour before you came in. She asked me to give you this.
Looks like we'll be holed up here for a while, miss. I just got a report of Comanches up ahead.
Sure wish Lou was here to see this. I christen this first land ship the Prairie Dolphin. All right, partners, climb aboard and we'll take her out for a little shakedown cruise.
Oh, well, ain't it too windy?
No, it's just a fair blow for a maiden voyage and a beautiful sky. Look at those Dutchman's britches up there.
I don't see no Dutch britches.
Patches of blue sky, you land crab. Now get aboard. Come on, mates. Stand fast. I'm going to weigh anchor.
We'll all be killed.
I'm gonna be sick.
Stop this thing, Thomas. Stop it.
I'm not worried. She'll weather it.
I'm getting sicker than a pig.
You stay back in that wagon, miss. Keep a hold on this just in case.
Do you think they'll attack?
They're Comanches. They'll attack when they get ready. To get us out alive. They're hightailing it off. I'll be a son of a sea cook. You saved our lives. Scared those Comanches plumb out of their wits.
Oh, Baylor, your wind wagon, it worked.
Yeah.
Baylor, Thomas, do you realize what you just proved? It means a whole new way of transportation.
I'm afraid not, Lou. She sailed all right. Sailed so fast, she was out of control about half of the time. She was steering herself when I caught up with you. Just before that, I almost sailed her right over a cliff. That'd have been pretty good. Another thing I find out, the prevailing winds out here are all from the east. And it was just plain dumb luck that I didn't have to tack over the whole prairie in order to get back from Council Grove. It's a pretty good idea, but it just ain't practical.
Oh. Well, it did prove one thing. You've got imagination.
Oh, I've always had ideas, Lou.
And California's just the place for those ideas.
Hey, here'd be a pretty good idea. If you would accept this ring back, we could be married the minute we get to Sacramento.
That's the best idea you've had yet.
Windwagon Thomas, as they called him, was an authentic piece of Americana. Now, like many other pioneers, men like Studebaker, Levi Strauss, Stetson, Windwagon Thomas symbolized the imagination and determination that built the West.